Sophie Cats. I feel like we need more light. We need more light. Y'all mind if I walk away for a second? All right, guys, this is your 4 under 4. This is Born Fashion here, aka Sophie Carrots, aka Nonsense. All right, so I'm gonna be doing your 4 under 4 for all elements. Okay, so the first elements we're gonna go is air signs, of course. If you guys are interested in a birth chart reading or a natal chart reading, please hit me up in my DM. Okay. All right, so we got air signs. What's today? Shavat 24. Okay. All right, so you guys know what that means. I did want to do a burning of the deck, so don't mind that. You guys can cleanse your decks however you feel. I personally just feel like it needs to have the edges burned because 4 under 4 usually kind of like really gets, you know, it gets the nitty gritty out for me. It gets all the details out that I like. And I even had to bring some things closer, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got the grippers on. All right. All right. So 4 under 4 for air signs. Ooh. Okay, so what we got here? We got the 5 of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and then we got the Emperor, and then we have the Justice in reverse. Okay, so we're gonna talk about these. I just did a reading, a personal reading for someone, and I had those 2 in reverse. So hopefully the message is kind of synchronized. Okay, so if you're watching this, you can get more messages from here. Okay, so the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so that's gonna be your emotional space. Your emotional space is like, okay, what do I need to give in love that I feel like is given in the physical? Okay, so what do you need to give emotionally that is physically satisfying, that you don't like to, you know, kind of see where you're going and also see what's being directed. Okay, see where you're going and see what is being directed, but also again, you know, being able to heal your emotional wounds. Okay, and then we also have in your ESPM spiritual space. Okay, so your spiritual space is really just asking you to come out of the shell that you're normally you know, satisfied with living in. You're normally able to unleash. Okay, so you have to also ask questions deeper and deeper and deeper with anything that you're studying spiritually, because it's going to bring about you know, a longer path, you know, for you to survive in that spiritual realm. Okay, and then we have these 2 in reverse. Okay, so that's in physical and mental. So physically, you're not wanting to be the Emperor because it actually requires authority within your physical feature, like within your physical body. So I was just thinking about when I was doing like a squat, right? I'm going to do a demonstration for you guys, okay? And I was doing this squat and I realized, I was like, wow, I know the energy comes from your physical strength, okay? And then I always ask myself, how do I maintain the physical strength? Because I can stay like this for a great while, but it also is a mental gift, okay? It is a mental gift to have balance towards the thing that you want in your body, okay? So keep that in mind. I hope that makes sense. All right, so let's move on to, oh, I didn't have to write that down. All right, so we got that. And then we're going to go into fire, okay? Fire signs. We have 5 of P. I like to do that. 5 of P. We had the Knight of Wands, and then we had the Emperor. Okay, does the Emperor have a routine? So you have to ask yourself that as well, air signs. And then we have the Justice, and these are in reverse. All right, fire signs. Let's see what's coming out for you guys. See, it's under 4 minutes. I love that. Meow. So sometimes it can come out however you want. I'm not used to shuffling with nails like I used to, but now I'm gonna get back to it. Okay. Whew. All right. All right, let's see what's coming out here. Oh, we got the Knave of Wands, the Justice, okay. We have the Emperor again, and then we have the 7 of Swords, okay. So okay, anyway, so let's move on. The Knave of Wands is really going to be asking you in your emotional space to take charge of Soto de Bastos. Take charge of the fire that you want within you and the fire that you have within your placements, okay? So say if you had a fire a Sagittarius Mars. Okay, so how would you get things started? How would you move about emotionally getting a relationship started? Okay, would you use would you use your phallic gifts, or would you also use your your posterior, which is your body, okay, which is the forefront of who you are? Okay, and then the yellow is also asking your solar plexus to be more dominant when it comes to this area. So you would be using emotional, you would be gathering something from yourself sexually, even from your emotional space, okay? And that's okay, because sometimes that works in relationships when you can do that, okay? Especially if you have it in your rising. And then we have your spiritual space is going to be for the justice, okay? It's like, again, remember I said that emotional and that spiritual, sometimes you make spiritual connections sexually that you wouldn't make if you were dealing with someone who needed it to be coming in more mentally or cerebral, okay? Because some things, words are less, okay? Sometimes the relationships are best said less than more, okay? And then we have the Emperor, okay? So the Emperor comes in your physical space, again, to remind you, so you can, you probably already here, so you watch the air signs. That's going to remind you of how to really direct your wealth and really direct your courage, okay? So direct your wealth and your courage to be more of a dominance in how you want to pursue things, okay? So, the trunk and, things how you want to, do memory exercises. That can be kind of something I want to say. Memory exercises are going to be very, very important. And then also finding ways to be more courageous, okay? Finding ways to be more articulate with things that you need to kind of advance you physically, okay? Because that is also, that is a muscle. So you have to remember about the muscles. And then we have the Seven of Swords in your mental space, okay? So you would have that in reverse because you want a opportunity to, how would you say that? You want an opportunity to really not be deceptive to yourself, because you see how he looks at this reflection. You want to be able to look at yourself and be happy about the reflection that you leave yourself into other people, okay? Even if you do have to wear a mask on a daily basis, or if you have like a conflicting or like a twin type of energy, if that makes sense, okay? Meaning, like, I'm a Gemini moon, so I have to flip to one extreme to another extreme. So anyone who has not really extreme, I don't like to say that word anymore. We have 707, but it is good. You be fair. Seven of Swords, okay? That's in reverse too. All right, so let's move on to water signs. Oh, ooh, I like that. How you guys feel? Bye. Anyway. Okay, so like I said, water signs. Ooh, got the moon right here. So there's going to be a lot of facial expressions that you're going to want to make. That's just kind of what I'm getting right now. Okay, so there's a lot of facial expressions that you're going to want to make that are going to be more telling than revealing, if that makes sense, okay? So, I mean, sometimes your partner may not know, like, say if you're a Scorpio, you know how you can hold secrets close to your chest. You will want to have something that actually reflects you in the most positive light, okay? Or, it kind of gives your partner a security when it comes to your faces, okay? That part on. Okay, water signs. Let's see. We got the Eight of Chalices in reverse, the Seven of Wands in reverse, and we have the Wheel, okay? So, again, they're charged to the devil. So, you have these. Thank you. I will slow down. Whew. So, you have these coming out because the Eight of Cups is really taking a emotional loss, if that makes sense. So, whatever you need to lose is going to also be gained right back in a different dimension, okay? Or gained back in another spiritual dimension. Gained in a more... You'll see. Give me a second. All right. So then we have the Seven of Wands. Okay. So we have the Seven of Wands because you want to actually be the teacher of those emotions. That's what I'm saying. So you know how you say if you lost something. Okay. So how you lose boyfriends, you lose girlfriends. Because I'm watching The Housewives. We're taking a little break. And they talk about the loss of the friendships and the labels that we give each other when the friendship is no longer there. Okay. So when the friendship is no longer there, you have you have the opportunity to really teach yourself where you can stand emotionally with people and where you can stand spiritually with people, okay? And then we have the wheel. The wheel is also asking you to take, a look at your chart in a physical space and how it actually has manifested around you and how it has manifested the things that you want, okay? If there's a time to change, there's a time to change. If there's a time to reflect, there's a time to reflect, okay? The wheel gives you the opportunity to do that because look at where he's blowing here, okay? And when you blow, it don't matter what he's blowing in that moment. He's blowing something that is inhaling and exhaling, okay? So inhaling is always, okay? And exhaling is always, I understand, okay? Understand. Okay, and then we have the El Diablo, okay? So that's when you are taking hostage to your mental and also creating a worth ethic with what you want to, do with yourself, okay? You're creating a worth ethic, what you like to do with yourself and be with yourself, okay? And when you want to be something with yourself, you also have to be it with one another, okay? Whether that is an inner reflection or outer reflection, okay? So that's you guys' water sign. Let's switch this real quick. I love when people who got let me see, the devil is a lie. Okay. And then we have the wheel. And then we have the 8 of Cups. There's the chalices. I like that word, chalices. And then we have the 7 of Wands. Whatever. But those are reversed, so I like that too. Was the 7 of Wands reversed? Yeah, it was. All right, so let's move on to the earth signs and see what we have to say. I know I feel some type of way about my face right now, but it's cool. You know what I mean? I had to go get my little stickies back because somebody tried to break me out from staring at my pictures too long. Don't be staring at my pictures that long, okay? You ain't got that much. You shouldn't have that much time in your hands to be staring at my picture that long. Whoever you are. But thank you for the stares. Thank you for just make sure your mind was clear when you look at people, okay? Because I really take my placement serious, and I also take my my cap 1133, my cap stellium, because it's like you can send that energy to me, and I will have to purge out what I felt about the exchange that you were giving me, okay? So even don't think that IG is not a place that you're exchanging, because you exchange everything on IG, okay? I mean, IG pictures, all of that, you exchange that energy. But anyway, let's go ahead and do it to this earth side. Let's see what y'all gotta say. Did you guys know that August is the most popular birthday month? Crazy. All right, so let's move forward. Ooh, we got the 10. Ooh. So we got the 10 of Wands. All right, and under here is the Temperance. Okay, so you guys are going to be taking some time to really explore the depths of overseas and then the depths of inner seas. Okay, and inner seas is basically like what you know around you. Okay, meaning like common streets, and then over there is kind of like common people. Okay. Okay. So here we go with this. We got the 10 of Wands. So we got some Wands in here. All right. So the 10 of Wands is letting you know that something's going to be almost over emotionally. Okay. The burden, the heavy lifting, the emotional imbalance that you've been having. I feel like there's been some emotional balance when it comes to the Wands. Only for that reason, because you have not been standing up to yourself and also leaving a proper trail of kind of like your emotional progression. Okay. And then, because I feel like you've been taking orders from your I want to be well self rather than I am well, okay? Rather than physically feeling well by taking that time to actually, journal or whatever that may be. So, and then in the spiritual space, you have the sun, okay? So like I said, there's going to be a balance. You even see the baby. Someone could be having a baby or it could be manifesting a baby in the spiritual realm before it actually is born. Because we also create our babies before they're born in the spiritual realm, okay? And then the banana, so you have to think about that's phallic, okay? So you maybe many suns, maybe many, because I think about the sun as well. So many suns, and then we have the 10 and the 10, okay? So keep that in mind, because you also want to think that age is important as well. So maybe it takes 10 months to manifest your baby, and then 10 months to actually, 10 months to actually procreate that baby, okay? In the physical realm, because you have to think about it. You really start getting... You don't really have the baby in 40 weeks. You have it in a longer period of time, because you have to manifest it. You have to have that last period. You have to have that purging time afterwards, okay? The shedding of the blood. So we always think about that as well, okay? El Sol. And you have to think about the kids always running around, okay? So you have to think about how balanced you want to make the feminine and masculine when you make that baby, okay? And then we have the 9 of Wands, okay? And then this is also just telling you to physically take care of yourself, physically, okay? Knowing that you can have the proper breathing, knowing that you have the proper caretaking, as well as the proper tools to, stand against anything that's going to be trying to come above your cloud, or maybe bring your cloud down from what it is, okay? But also keep a bird's eye view on everything that's being watched by yourself and then others, okay? Take note of what others see when they see something, okay? So, like, if you're getting likes on something, take note on what is being liked. Take note of what is being ignored. Sometimes people ignore things that people are not ready to co-sign on, okay? If someone else doesn't co-sign, a lot of people don't co-sign on it as well, okay? And then we have the 9 of Chalices. That kind of reminds me in that mental space that you're ready to not have singledom, and you are actually accepting more love, and you're accepting more responsibility when it comes to co-creating, procreating, as well as conspiring with the world around you to, make better things, okay? So I love you guys. Ciao, bellas. Mwah. Oh, let me see what that is. We got the 10 of Wands, 10 of W, we got the Sun. So I like the themes here we got going on. 9 of Wands. And then we have the 9 of Chalices. That's in reverse, okay? So meaning you are taking some responsibility emotionally to, depend on another person, okay? You're loving their inner child, they're loving your inner child. And we got the Empress at the bottom, okay? So the Moon and the Empress and the Temperance. Got a lot of major arcanas here, so there are going to be some pivotal moments that are going to happen that are going to catapult a lot of things that you are seeking, and to catapult a lot of things that you are wanting to provide for yourself emotionally and mentally, okay? So I'm really seeing PM being the most, because that's when we're pretty much getting all your you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, gotta talk to you soon, guys. Ciao, bellos. See you next Wednesday's ESPM.